It's another tag video where Kira wears a hoodie and a hat downstairs at a very late time in the evening. I finished my espresso, but I'm so sorry, we have only just begun. All of you should know by now that I religiously follow the Booker Prize because it is the best prize in the world. However, some of you might not know that with the Women's Prize of fiction, I actually do follow alongside that as well. I don't so much follow it to the extent of other people, but when the shortlist comes out, I'm very much eager to find out a little bit about those books and try to place my bet on who I think is going to win. Hello, do you want to say hello? We were just about to praise Simon Savage all the way through, saying that we love his videos on the Women's Prize. Oh, you don't like them? Oh, well, I'm sorry, Simon, you heard it here first. It's a 50-50 audience in this house. And as soon as he said he was going to do this tag and opened it up to his audience, I was like, I'll jump on that. You know me. I know me. I'm going to forget to tag people at the end of this wonderful tag. So I'm going to do it now. Therefore, Connie Reads, you're tagged. GK Reads, her story time, you're tagged. Jessica's Reading Ruminations, you're tagged. Seriously though, if you want to do this tag, please do it. Let me know and I will come over to your channel and watch it with fervour. Is fervour a word? Because I feel as though I said like fervour and I don't think that's a word. You can stay here for the video, that's okay. The first question is, what was the first Women's Prize winner that I read? And oh, we're gonna have to get gloves for this, aren't we? Okay, push like we're ready. It was, oh god. Oh, it's disgusting. This book had always been on my radar and I have heard so much praise for Ali Smith. So when this won in 20... Did this win? Did it? It did win. Did it win? I'm confident. Did it win? Yeah. Of course it's won. Of course it won. Did it win? This one in 2015. I don't think that's true. Go with it, Kieran. Go on. This was definitely shortlisted in 2015 and I must have read it the year after in 2016. I've always heard good things about Ali Smith's book, so I thought this is going to be the perfect opportunity to read a prize-winning book. And it was awful. It was... Oh, get out. Go over the room. There you go. It was awful. It was... It's the whole play that I hated with this, where time is timeless. Fun fact, it's split into two time eras. One's modern day, one's like the 14th century. Time isn't timeless if it definitely has a very specific time. I can't really remember the plot, but I know with Ali Smith, plot is not important. Yeah, wasn't great. Wasn't great. I don't know if it won. I'm saying it won. Did it? It did. It must have won. Question 2. I'm keeping the tongs. Which author has become a favourite of yours because of the prize? And it is Donna Tartt's The Little Friend, which was shortlisted in 2002. I'm going to say this now. The Little Friend is the best Donna Tartt. I know. What about The Goldfinch? The Secret History is a modern classic. This book has the best of both worlds when it comes to The Goldfinch and The Secret History. And all the people who are like, it has no plot, it has no story. Wait, have you read Ali Smith? The same people who are loving Ali Smith, they hated on this. I don't like that. Naughty, naughty internet. This book follows the Cleeve family and especially the daughter Harriet, whose brother is murdered. But she's trying to get to the bottom of why that happened. And the reason why people complain it has no plot is that it's exploring childhood and exploring how life really doesn't have concrete answers. I absolutely love this book. Question 3 is, which favourite author of mine has yet to win the prize? It's Jeanette Winterson, who is just, can we just say is just a absolutely fan-bloody-tastic writer. Everything that she writes on sexuality and gender, I just find so original, and I find so emotional and novel, and most importantly, like, entertaining. Written on the Body, The Power Book. Oh, what good stories. Oh, and Lighthouse Keeping. Everyone keeps forgetting Lighthouse Keeping, and it is brilliant. We need Jeanette Winterson to win. Question 4. What long-listed, short-listed winner were you most surprised by? It's Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, and I was so surprised. I was so surprised. Not because it didn't deserve to win, but just how... You've kept up this really stupid premise. You have to carry on. You surprised me with how good historical fiction can be. I don't read, as a general rule, historical fiction. It's something that I fairly put off, similar to sci-fi, similar to fantasy. It's not something that's ever urged me to read. I've never looked at a Philippa Gregory book and gone, oh my god, I gotta read you. It's not gonna happen. But Wolf Hall, I heard all the acclaim, I heard all the praise. I heard Cromwell, let down your hair and let me get all saucy with the Tudors. And I was like, I still don't know. And then it was the summer of 2018, and this little bad boy was there, and he was like, hi, I'm shortlisted for the Golden Booker Award. And I was like, ooh, that one sexy cover boy. And I thought, yeah, go on, let's go for it. I have a spare £8.99 in my bank balance, so it doesn't need to eat. And I read it, and I swooned. I swooned over this. It was like enough to make me go, oh, like, oh. Question 5 is, if I was a judge, which 4 women would I want to judge it with, and why? I thought about this one way too long, this question, and it's really difficult, but I feel as though I've done a very good job in the justification for these 4 women. Let's go! My first choice would be Kate Tempest, who is a spoken word artist, and she is incredible. And if you have not checked out her work, I urge you, whilst you're on YouTube, click up Kate Tempest and listen to what she has to say. She's so good. She just knows where to, like, land the punches and make you go, ooh, yeah. It's visceral, it's gritty, it's at times like carnal as well. There's just a lot of like pent up emotions in her work, and what she does with language and what she does with words is just exquisite at times. And I feel as though when you're like judging books, I think you really need to go into like how those sentences are working and what those words doing. Are they providing the message in the most crisp, clearest way possible? So I think Kate Tempest would just be this wonderful person who would just like enlighten the room. My second choice would be Emily Wilson, who recently translated Homer's Odyssey and unpicked the genderedness in that book. And again, that analytical eye of putting women at the forefront and seeing how they are doing things and how they're taking apart gender. I think it's a really important thing to look at with women's literature. My third person would be Arundhati Roy, and you only need to listen to Arundhati Roy speak to know why I've chosen her. She speaks for herself. Such an intellectual mind, such a passionate person about literature, about deconstructed notions, about deconstructed themes. Yes, Squint, I know it's emotional. I know. And she leaves the house. She's just this wonderful voice that you just want to listen to, and you want to see how she expresses her views. Oh, she's brilliant. It's a shame I didn't like The God of Small Things that are being put off the Ministry of Utmost Happiness, but her speeches, oof, they're so good. Number 4 is a hot, controversial take, people. It's a hot, controversial take, but I worship the ground this woman walks on. Oh my gosh, she's brilliant in every single way, shape or form, and I adore her. To me, not only is she just one of the most beautiful women in the world, but she's just got this incredible mind, and one of the most important artists of Britain it's Tracey Emin. I know. People have questioned this choice for 10 years of why I have such this adoration towards Tracey Emin. But by God, what I would do to be in a room with her. Oh, she's just beautiful. She's just brilliant. I just love her. I love Tracey Emin. I will happily say that I am in love with Tracey Emin. I will urge you to read her book Strangelands. Oh my God, it's like a memoir about her growing up, how she gets into art school, and how she has this really like bizarre relationship with her father, who's a gypsy. And yes, Marge, I know it's emotional, and it was incredible. Utterly deserving to be part of the YBA, the Young British Artist Movement. Utterly deserving. I love her. Tracey Emin, please notice me, because I love you. I love you so much. I've gone into a bit of a hot sweat over Tracey Emin, but let's cool down with what book published before the prize do I think would have won. Now, I don't own a copy because I gifted it to my friend to read, who's interested in lesbian modernist literature, and I feel though it's a very underappreciated work, and it's Djuna Barnes's Nightwood, which was published in 1936. Easily one of the most difficult books that I have ever read and ever come across, and still to this day I don't really think I understand what's going on at times, but it really follows the story of Nora, who's like a fictionalization of Djuna Barnes, who is traveling across Europe and finds herself in love with a woman, and their relationship kicks off, it crumbles, and it's really her trying to explore these emotions that are illegal, these feelings that are frowned upon, and how she can live her life. And the end scene it's so odd. It doesn't spoil anything, because the end is really a small part of this whole huge story that's going on. And Nora's like on the floor, like convulsing, and starts like attacking this dog in a church. Oh, it gets really, and there's this scene in an attic with a cow and a doctor, and I have no idea what's going in that scene, but it's so good. I find not many people know about this book, but at the time when it was published, T.S. Eliot said it was one of the best books that he'd ever read, and actually approached to write the introduction to Nightwood. Dylan Thomas said it was one of the top 3 most influential works of the modernist era. What? William Burroughs said it was one of the best queer fictions ever written. It's just a classic, and if you like Virginia Woolf, it's similar to Orlando, but just like ratcheted up a gear. It's kind of like metafiction at the same time. Oh, I really want to understand that book. I'm like really not smart enough at all. But if you can get a copy, I bloody urge you to get it, because it's, I don't know what goes on in it. I don't know, but it was good. It's good. It's good. Question 8, quickfire round. Which has been my favourite and why? It's Wolf Hall. It's just bloody incredible. I need not say any more. Question 9. Is there a book that's published since April 2020 that I would like to see on next year's prize? Now, controversial just for myself, it's Ali Smith's Summer. Now, I know. Simon Savage and I will be buddy reading this as soon as it comes out next month, like 3 weeks time. What? That's gone quick. Finally, which shortlisted book do you want to win? I don't think there's any debate. I think this is going to win. Can I fit this in my tongs? Yes! Yes! Thank you, Simon Savage, for creating a wonderful tag. Again, Connie Reach, GK Reach, Pastori, Jessica's Ruben Reading Nations. You have been tagged. I have been Kieran. This has been the end.